Good morning, leaders, and thank you for the opportunity to present today. As we continue shaping our strategy for the years ahead at Nike, it is vital that we ground our decisions in an understanding of key economic forces shaping the business environment. This presentation will cover four critical topics. Firstly, macroeconomic indicators, tariffs and trade policies, behavioral economics, and artificial intelligence and wage inequality. We will also link each of these to real world impacts for the global company of Nike, and importantly, what it means for our strategic plan. Let's begin with macroeconomic indicators, the health checks of any economy, which are GDP, inflation, and unemployment. Gross domestic product, or GDP, measures the total outputs of a nation. When GDP is growing, it reflects a healthy, expanding economy with rising consumer demand. Great conditions for a brand like Nike. There's two types of GDP that we need to know. Nominal GDP, which uses current prices and doesn't adjust for inflation, while real GDP adjusts for prices when they change, providing a clearer picture of actual economic growth. While inflation means the rise in prices over time. Moderate inflation often signals a growing economy, while hyperinflation can signal overheating. While deflation can mean a recession in the economy. For Nike, raising inflation increases material and production costs, directly affecting pricing and margins. Unemployment rates show the percentage of people actively seeking work but unable to find it. High unemployment indicates weak demand and reduced customer spending. On the other hand, low employment usually signals strong economic activity and higher customer confidence. For Nike, these indicators are essential. When GDP is rising and unemployment is low, Nike can expand higher customer spending and they can expect it. But during inflation spikes, Nike may need to reassess pricing, supply chain costs, and demand, forecast to remain competitive and profitable in their chosen industry. Tariffs are a key economic leveler with widespread business implications. Let's break down the recent impacts using the basic aggravated demand and supply models that you can see on my slide. In Australia, US tariffs reduce our exports, leading to a leftward shift in aggravated demand, which you can see. With aggravated supply, AS, unchanged, the new equilibrium moves from E1 to E2, resulting in a lower output and prices. In the US, tariffs may initially boost domestic production, slightly shifting the AD to the right. However, higher input costs push short term aggravated supply, SRAS, leftwards, leading to increased inflation and potentially lower outputs. Even though Nike doesn't export from Australia, global trade tensions, especially between the US and China, have rippling effects, which can be seen as higher manufacturing and shipping costs, which directly impact retail prices and margins, supply chain disruptions, delays inventory, and reduces product availability, and currency. Like a weaker Australian dollar raises import costs. So a business must know when the money is going to decrease and increase. Strategically, Nike might want to strengthen supply chain resilience, adjust pricing models, and stay alert to global trade shifts. Tariffs may seem distant, but their effects on cost, supply, and consumer demand are immediate and strategic. That's why they are very important. Topic 3, Behavioral Economics. This differs as traditional economics assumes that people are rational, making decisions based on logic and cost benefit analysis. But in reality, human psychology plays a major and big role. This is where behavioral economics comes in. Take customer food choices as an example. People often opt for healthier options, not because of lack of information, but due to biases and immediate rewards, like the taste of the food or the convenience over long term health benefits. Behavioral economics helps us understand decisions based not just on data, but on context and emotions of the individual. For the company of Nike, this means recognizing that customer choices are often emotionally driven. Advertising, product design, and brand loyalty all play a major role into why these behavioral patterns exist. When setting strategies, leaders must ask, what do we influence and how do we influence the perception of our customers? Are we designing with behavioral insight in mind? Understanding behavior behavior allows Nike to create experiences that feel more intuitive and impactful for our customers. Finally, let's now look at artificial intelligence and shaping the labour markets and contributing to wage inequality. As AI and automation becomes more common, they disproportionately benefit high skilled workers, those in tech, data, and management, while displacing low and mid skilled jobs like admin or manufacturing roles. Let's visualize with these two graphs that are seen on the slide. In the unskilled labour market, demand shifts left, reducing both employment and wages. In the skilled labour market, demand shifts right, increasing wages and job opportunities. This imbalance is widely and widening the wage gap. Without strong policy investments like digital education and retraining and improving skills of workers, the divide between the two will grow. Nike, as a global employer, must consider how AI is changing job roles and skills, where investment in training is needed, and how to create equitable growth in a tech driven future. Wage inequality isn't just a social issue, it's a business risk. Companies that don't adapt will face higher turnover, lower engagement, and even a risk to the business's overall reputation. In summary, macroeconomic indicators help forecast demand and cost pressures. Tariffs and trade policies impact supply chain, pricing, and consumer confidence. Behavioral economics reminds us to consider how human psychology affects decision making. And AI is important because it highlights the need for inclusive, future ready strategies. For Nike and for us, understanding these forces isn't just academic, it's essential for staying competitive, resilient, and responding to this in our complex global market. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you take these insights forward into your strategic planning discussions today. Thank you.